Hello everybody and welcome back to the Youth Academy Save with Guiseley on FM 23. We're in Season 10, I think it is now, Season 10, and we're just starting Season 10. I say just starting, obviously we've played few games into the season. Let's go and have a look at how it's been going. So, starting on the league table, we are third. 14 games played, 7 wins, 7 draws, no losses, 15 goals difference, a plus 15 goal difference, 28 points, 2 points off second place Woking, who have lost 2 games but 1 more than us, and 7 points off Accrington Stanley, which is really irritating because I swear at any other start to a season this probably would have had us top. We've not lost in 14 games. We have been playing incredibly well. Accrington Stanley, though, have just been blowing everybody out of the park, which is absolutely infuriating. But if we come away from the table, we can go in and have a look at the schedule and you'll see what we've done. If we'll go to the friendlies in a minute. But yes, a 2-2 draw with Oldham, 2-2 draw with Matlock was the start of the season. 3-1 win over Scarborough, 2-2 with Fylde, 2-0 win over Aldershot, 4-2 win over Solihull Moors, 2-0 win over Altrincham, 4-1 win over Peterborough Sports, 2-1 win over Bristol Rovers, 2-2 with Cheltenham, 2-2 with Woking. These 2-2s seem to happen a lot when we draw. 3-0 with Scunthorpe, 2-2 with Torquay, 3-0 we beat South Shields in the FA Cup 4th round qualifying, and 2-2 we've just drawn with Morecambe. And the Morecambe game was really interesting. 2 goals down inside 20 minutes. We actually bought it back with goals from Christie and Allpress. But yeah, unbeaten start to the season. Looks like it's going to be a positive one. We've had a bit of a redemption arc for Cameron Thorpe, who still finds himself in the squad. He's still here. He's sort of become a bit of a villain of the series for me, I feel. But he is playing better. He's matching. He's nearly already played the amount of appearances he had last season for us, scored the same amount of goals and hit the same amount of assists. One player of the match at 6.92. He's generally found more life in this team as a left winger, which is really surprising because he can't cross. He does have decent dribbling, but I think playing on the wing is hiding a bit more as if lack of off the ball as a striker, and it's really allowing him to use his pace and acceleration. He's fairly strong on his right, very strong on his left, so he comes in. It's not been wonderfully good for him. I mean, he's scored 1, 2, 3 in a bit of a run and then gone off the boil a little bit, not getting into the great positions, as you can see. So, I mean, he came off at half-time in this game. He was playing absolutely terribly. Only completed 6 passes in the first half, which was pretty dreadful. But, yeah, mainly, as you can see, inside forward on the left, a couple of games up front where we're rotating, and then inside forward on the left. But overall, he's starting to impress me. He's starting to get a little bit better. He's getting a strike rate of 1 in 4 overall in his whole career. We're not loaning him out again just yet. We're not giving up on Cameron Thorpe just yet. He sort of hit that magical 18-year-old mark, 19, and is now turning into a half-decent footballer, which is really, really good. And then we'll go and look at the squad because there's been some call-ups from the youth team that will make a difference this year. And then we're going to go and look at the transfers out. Now, what I want you to do is pause the video in just a second after I ask this question. Which player is missing from this squad list? If we go and look in here, I've not got unavailable, I've just got not a club. There's lots of people that have gone out on loan. There is one player who is missing from this list that we have sold in the transfer window. And yeah, it's a pretty big one, so you should be able to get it. So pause it, put your answer down below, and then when we go through the transfers, let me know if you are right or wrong with a comment down below as well. But yeah, I mean, calling up from the youth team, Will Jones has been called up. He is now getting some much more like senior training, and he's getting more game time as sort of reserves in and out. He's actually slightly better than Dominic Johnson, not as in attributes that are on here, but in terms of what we need him to do, he is actually better. But Dominic Johnson is having a good season as well. Who else have we called up? Joe Moore has been called up. We've got him signed to a professional contract as soon as he turns 17. He does look like he's going to be very good. He is playing right back for us whenever he plays. The thing with him is 6.53. I'm not too fussed about his average rating because Harry Jordan has been playing very well this year. He's gone through lulls in his career. He's got a 6.95, 10 goals, 1 assist. But he's being very solid this year. He's been very, very solid. And I feel like as our players are getting more mature, we are seeing a lot more from them. So Harry Jordan is now 24. He's the second oldest player in the team. But yeah, he's coming along pretty well. From the youth team, Hanif Bertrand is now basically back up to Danny Adams when he's out, so 6.95 of 3 appearances. Again, nothing amazing, but he's got good determination. He's got decent passing. We're trying to work. He's got decent vision. I'm trying to get him to work on his work rate, which is really difficult, and I think he moaned about it, so we may have actually changed his development now. Defensive positioning, we're trying to get him a bit more solid defensively, which clearly isn't working because positioning's not going up, neither is tackling or marking, which I think is what it works on. But he is getting some game time, which is good. Danny Adams, Graham O'Brien has been called up as well. He's not playing too much. He's only had 1 appearance so far, but again, he's being trained to be this sort of ball-winning midfielder in here. So when Lewis Salt is out, he's going to play. He's wanted by Gillingham on loan, who got relegated, but I think we're going to keep him in and around the first team. The other ones are Callum Powell from Australia. We're training him up over here to be a winger. We're training up on the right to be an inverted forward on this side because he's got the strong left foot. But again, he has really good potential. His current ability is not bad. He's not getting a huge amount of game time, and I'm wondering if we send him out on loan again, he'll probably get a lot more game time with much higher ratings, which will probably improve his progression and attribute development. So I think we are probably going to offer him out at some point. Chris Fearon has probably been the biggest step up from youth team to this team. Already 3-star ability. We knew he was going to be amazing after the last video that we saw. 17 years old, 9 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, a 6.93. He's playing really well to the point that this injury actually has hurt us. It has hurt us. Yes, we've got Brooklyn Christie who can step in, but he's hitting. And then the final one is Jimmy Curran, who we sort of have seen previously, the midget 5'3", or very small, I shouldn't say that, very small 5'3" Irishman, is playing pretty well, actually. He's 11 appearances, 3 goals, 7 assists, 7.26. He's really enjoying life on that left-hand side. And nothing to complain about him, really. I wish he was a bit taller. That's all I can really say. But it looks to be that his technique and his pace and his dribbling seems to get him in really good positions, and he's always attacking the back post for little tap-ins and rebounds and reacts like that pretty quickly. And that, in terms of players from the youth academy that have stepped up, is it, really. Victor Havetzi has started getting some games, which really makes me wish we had a better backup goalkeeper. He's played 2, conceded 4, and got a 6.45 average rating. Because Scott Lloyd is now constantly making the under-19 Wales team. So I think that shows how much he's progressed. Because look at this. He is now 4.5-star current ability compared to the rest of our squad. 5-star potential ability. We're either going to sell him or he's not going to sign a new contract at some point because he's going to get pissed off with what level we're at. But at the moment, he's doing absolutely fine. Oh, look at this. Our Scotsman, Colby Eklipont, is not far away from Havetzi, so I'm wondering if he becomes our backup goalkeeper next year, potentially. Alan English is looking pretty poor, but yeah, Simon Lloyd is looking very, very tasty indeed. The other big news, we're still not professional. They're still not increasing anything to do with anything. Any requests is basically just denied. Now, finances, looking pretty good. 42k in the bank at the moment. We got a big peak of 137 towards the beginning of the season. And yeah, it's looking all right. We've actually got a big transfer budget. So what we do with our transfer budget is knock that down to 1 below basically 0, just in case we need to release some players on a free. We have to have some transfer budget in there. But yeah, everything going pretty badly. But this was thanks to the good start. Again, recommendations in the comments. I read and reply to every single comment. Is why our pre-season looks so manic, because we had 3 different leagues running through it. We had the Money League, the Money Cup, which was actually a league, and Money Please League, which was interesting. We also had big games against West Brom. We had Bolton in here. We finished the season on absolute morale boosters: 9-2, 10-0, 8-0, 5-1. But yeah, some big teams came to play, and you can see the attendances we got were awesome. No sellouts, no Bradford sellouts. We'll have to try and get Bradford back next year. But overall, it's been, it was a big money spinner, and we'll be doing it again next season because we need to keep that money going so that we can get that balance up and also turn professional, which will be helpful. The other reason the balance is looking better is because we've paid off all of our loan. There is no loan at the club anymore. They took some of the cash that we made, put it towards paying off the debt, and then we paid off what was left, and now that is done. So we are now in a case where we're just making profit every month, which is awesome. Let's go and look at the transfers, because by now you should have left your comment to say who you think has left the squad. And that man was, of course, Matt O'Keefe. We have sold him to AFC Wimbledon. £85,000 is what he's gone for. He is getting game time for them in League One, which is, I think, a big compliment to our youth setup. But he was consistent for us, ever present after that first season when he came through. Was doing really, really well. But again, it was just money we couldn't afford to turn down at the time. It helped pay off the loan. It helped get us out of debt. And whilst he's been playing, he's not been performing brilliantly. We do have clauses of a pre-season friendly next year and sell-on value as well. So 25%, I think, or 30% of his next sale will come to us. But yeah, we probably could have got 100k for him if I'd negotiated a bit harder. But I think knowing that we had people to step in to replace him, maybe not all of his goals, but stepping in to replace what he could do for the club, I feel like it was a deal we had to do. £85,000 straight cash with a sell-on clause and a free pre-season friendly, I think is really good. And it got him to play professional football, and it's really interesting to see how he's going to develop after this. 190 appearances he made for Guiseley, scoring 101 goals. Or yeah, he's played 10 appearances for Wimbledon, so 200 overall. 190 for us, 101 goals, 27 assists, and 16 Player of the Match awards for us. An absolutely wonderful player, but unfortunately, we just had to let him go. He's only 21, so he is going to do pretty well. All the others have been loan transfers. So Jez Hines has gone back to Radcliffe. Zach Mountford's gone back out to Australia, and he's doing all right. He's now been capped at under 23 level, but is so injury prone. He's out for 6 weeks to 3 months with a torn thigh muscle. But if we have a look at his injuries, look at this. 3 major injuries in a row is really, really bad. He's got tight hamstring, and then it's just calf and thigh. So we may be knocking it on the head with Zach Mountford. John Burns has left. He joined Newport County on a free. We're not really going to miss him too much. And then lots of loans. Georgios is probably the biggest one out, but with Ferran coming through, he wasn't going to get much game time. So we've sent him back out to Cyprus. 10 appearances so far, a 7.44. It will be helping his progression. No end getting that sort of game time, which is awesome. Lots of other people have gone out as well. We're starting as well to command a few loan fees, which is really good. We gave Razvan Marek a new contract and then sent him out on loan to see if it'll improve it. And again, he is getting game time. He is getting good ratings, which should boost his attributes. And then just towards the back end of last season, we sent out Karatus back on loan to Cyprus as well. He's getting some game time and not doing too bad as well. So yeah, we're raising money through loans. We're selling some people when we think the time's right, and they've done all they can for Guiseley basically. But we're playing really well. The season's going really well. It's all down to playing on camera and seeing it all completely mess up like it always does live on camera. Yeah, it's good fun. It's always good fun. I'm trying to think if we've got anything else to go through, really. We've told Atara we'll try and find a loan move for him, but nobody wants him on loan, so that's not going to happen. Generally, there's not too much to discuss. So I think we'll get into the game against rivals Harrogate Town-ish. And the reason we've come back for Harrogate Town is because it's game number 15 and it's on TV, which is awesome. Look, it's on TV. I think it's our only game so far this season that's going to be scheduled to be live on TV, which hopefully means it got moved to Tuesday to be live on TV, and we got £2,000, I think, for it being live on TV, which is awesome. So yeah, I'll go and pick the team, and we'll be back to play Harrogate Town. Oh no, there was one more thing. Kits. New season, new kits, or every other season. These are our kits. We've moved to Puma. We've gone away from Nike, Adidas. Can't remember who did our last kits. But we've gone away from them and we've gone to Puma, and they've said we're going retro this season. We're going retro in 2032. Plain white, yellow collar, plain yellow, blue collar. It's just very simple. This one does actually have a little detailed design on it, but you can't see it on this kit. So yeah, new kits. Let me know what you think about them. Right, see you at kickoff. All right, so we're going with a slightly rotated team in this one because of fitness. You can see lots of people feeling tired. 2 games in a week is tough at semi-pro level. We're actually going to ask a lot of Shane Tarmy as well. They're saying a maximum of 45 minutes. We haven't really got anyone apart from Dominic Johnson on the bench to come in and replace him because Dave Mills is knackered, as is Les Knight, which would be my 2 options, but that's what we're going with. Tarmy is still training to be a defender left, whether it works or not. I think by the time he can do it really well, we'll probably have someone trained up who's better. But Lloyd in goal, youngster Moore, we've got Priestnall, youngster Jones and Tarmy at the back. A youngster pairing in midfield of O'Brien and Bertrand. Harris on the right, Christie in behind Allpress and Thorpe starting on the left. On the bench, we're going with a lot of youngsters. Johnson, Amaral, Clough, Ampadu and Curran, although Ampadu definitely isn't classed as a youngster anymore. He's 24. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're focusing quite a lot on the set pieces at the moment. We're trying to utilize them as much as possible, so every game I'm going in and making sure the right people are in the right spots for attacking corners and stuff like that. But that's how we line up. Let's get into kickoff. Here we are then, live on TV. Harrogate Town versus Guiseley. Who would have thought it, this being a game on TV? They're coming in reasonable form, I guess. 2 wins out of 5. We've got 2 wins out of 5. It's just ours are surrounded by draws. If we're following the pattern, this should be a win because it should just go draw, win, draw, win, draw, win. And then, but yeah, we're third, they're 10th. So it's interesting. They're still classed as favourites, even though we're 6 points clear and we're about a third through the season, nearly a third through. But we're in the white, they're in the yellow, obviously. And we've got this rotated team with a very young central midfield partnership, which I'm hoping doesn't get overrun by theirs. I'm thinking they've rotated, but they've got a couple of time players in there. Maybe Barrow is someone that we could look to exploit. But overall, the way the league is going, I really can't complain. I love looking at this XG graph grow and see how that goes. Here is Barrow into Griffiths, Hunter over the top, and he's just got past Tarmy, who, as we say, is sort of standing in at left back. That was a poor cross, but they've made something of it, and Coleman shoots over the bar. But yeah, we're still in this. Moore down to Christie. Moore ball in. It was headed towards Allpress, but pretty much cleared. It looks like they could have countered a lot quicker there. If they're going to throw that many men forward, we may have to change our wing backs onto something slightly different, because that looked like they were really overawing us at the back. Now, I know there was a couple of comments as well about like camera. Can we change something around the camera and the camera angle? The reason I don't want to change it is because from this view I can see a lot more of the pitch. I don't want to be too zoomed in, but yeah, we'll see as the seasons progress. Potentially we'll go back to the same camera we use for the replays. More up to Harris, cuts in field, up into Allpress. Bertrand looks to the left. Thorpe is there, and he's got the pace. Man in the middle is Christie. It's hit the foot of the post and gone wide, and he was onside as well. Probably should be scoring. Harris is fouled. Biggs is there into Mbondo. He just hoofs it away. Priest now hoofs it back, and Thorpe can't bring it down. Up to Windass on the right-hand side. Christie tracking back well. Full forward is rubbish. And Broom will pick that one up for Harrogate Town. His clearance is poor, and Moore gives it into Harris. Harris down the line. Cuts in field. Ball out towards Thorpe again. Thorpe puts it in. Allpress is fouled. Surely a penalty. It's not a penalty. Cross comes back in. It's spilt. Christie can't put the rebound in. And how are we not winning this game? How are we not winning this game? Windass, ball through. Richards, the defender just stood still. Richards shoots Lloyds with a good save. Jones just completely turned off there and looked very slow at the back as Coleman swings in a corner. Priestnall is about 6'2" and has jumping reach 18, so I'm always expecting him to win that. Thorpe nearly flicked it onto himself there. Half time, we've absolutely been dominating them, but just can't get that goal. Don't lose faith. We've created loads of chances, and I think we're going to be okay. I'm just thinking, looked like we've covered off their counter-attacking sense with changing the roles here. Thorpe is having a good game. I might make an early change here, and I think we're going to put Thorpe up top. We're going to take Allpress off and bring on youngster Jimmy Curran, who we know can make a difference because we showed his seasonal attributes and stuff at the beginning of the episode, or earlier on in the episode. And Jimmy Curran does have a goal in him. We just need to make a difference. Christie swings this one in. Keeper claims it really well. Broom comes out and does really well. Long ball forward. Good header from Tarmy, who is very tall at the back. Thorpe, ball through. Curran. Here he is. Jimmy Curran. Oh, he's put it just past the post. That should have been his moment. Coming off the bench, that was the moment to make the difference. Jones takes it short to Bertrand. Bertrand back to Jones. Over the top. Oh, I thought it was going to just make it through to Christie, I think, running from the shadow striker role. Tarmi. Griffiths into Windass. He's up against Tarmi, which would be quite a formidable sight, I think, because Tarmi's quite tall for a left-back. O'Brien intercepts well. Harris comes forward with it. Looks inside to O'Brien again. Back to Priestnell. Up towards Thorpe. Doesn't win the header, but Bertrand can't keep it alive. Jones, O'Brien, Bertrand. You can just see Curran is always on the shoulder of the last man. That's a penalty. That one is a penalty. They're going to make a double change as we get awarded it. And with Danny Adams not on the pitch, it's going to be the youngster Moore. Keeps his cool, keeps his calm. His first goal of the season from the penalty spot. Joe Moore, the youngster from right back. Oh, what a finish that is. Low and hard into the bottom corner. Keeper is having no chance with that one. Let's give the boys some praise. 20 minutes to go. Harris not playing brilliantly. O'Brien could probably come off. Tarmi at left back is not having a great game either. Right, we'll bring Ampadu on for O'Brien. He's on a yellow card and not playing amazingly in there. And I think the next one will be Tarmi, because I'd rather have the fresh legs at the back. So we're going to bring Johnson on. He can become a fullback on support. And it's more of a settled back four like that. And I think, hopefully, that will allow us to see the game out in the last 15 minutes or so. Hunter with a free kick into Windass. Into Mohammed, over the top. Priestnell covers it well. Johnson, fresh legs on, looks for Thorpe. Flicks it onto Curran again. Jimmy Curran! This time he gets it. Come on. That is what we want. It does a little jig. And you could say that's an Irish jig, right? Jimmy Curran has done an Irish jig. I really hope in editing I remember to zoom in on that. Thorpe, great little flick on into Jimmy Curran's pass. And this is what I mean. He comes off the bench and just makes a difference. Goalkeeper's had a shocker. 2-0 up. Let's drop back into balanced. We are in fine control of this game. With 7 minutes to go, they're picking up loads of yellow cards, getting frustrated. The winning streak, or the unbeaten streak, continues live on camera this time as well. Lovely stuff. Johnson, great control. Lloyd goes for a clearance again, looking for Curran, who brings it down. This boy's everywhere. Christie gets to the area, puts it in. Thorpe, oh, he went for a little poke, and Broom just manages to collect it. 2 minutes left of added on time. And this has looked pretty comfortable for Guiseley with those early changes made. Curran's in again. Curran shoots just past the post. He looks good. He looks like he's going to be a bit of a game changer off the bench for us at times, especially in this first season coming up from the youth academy. Richards tries to put a cross in. It's bounced. He was offside. And with half an hour to go, we'll sit in defensive. Lloyd will take his time. And I think we're going to wrap up a win nicely here as Richards brings this down. That is full time. Domination. Absolute domination. Man of the match, Cameron Thorpe. I told you he was on redemption arc. Cameron Thorpe gets man of the match with an assist. I mean, you've got to give credit to Jimmy Curran coming on. Basically changed the game for us. Just gave us that attacking pace. It was beautiful to see. And that sound is everyone who wrote us off backtracking. Is this the year when we get promoted? Is it the year we get promoted? It's looking very tasty indeed. We have played an extra game over Acton and Woking, but we do move into second place. We can do it live on TV. We can do it live on camera. We're unbeaten after 15 games of the Vanarama National League season 2032-33. But I'm very excited for this crop of players and the fact that we've sold Matt O'Keefe. This is looking very, very good. We'll get our assistant into that. Thorpe on top form. We'll praise his quality of passing. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Accrington's unbeaten game reaches 10. Come back to us when you got 15. But they do go top by 7 points, so they can't be too upset with that one. Right, thank you so much for watching. Get your comments in down below. I don't know if you're all going to lie to say it was Matt O'Keefe that wasn't on that page when we're talking about it, but what can I do? Thank you so much. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and there'll be plenty more videos coming in the near future. We'll see you for Season 10 Youth Intake Day, which is going to take me a lot of game time to get there, I imagine, because these games are great fun to play, lots of tweaks in them, and we're on a bit of a roll. So thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.